I'm Dr. Jessica Fush, and this is Farmers Market Fido.
Hello, this is my second attempt at recording this presentation here for the course, and it's such an important topic that I'm going back and I'm redoing it because the first time it didn't save, so I was only able to share the slides. But now we are going to talk about the slides, and this is how you calculate how much to feed your dog. This is how you figure out how many calories your dog needs, and then how to use that information to decide how much you feed, okay, from a home-cooked diet. This could be the most important question that is asked whenever people find my YouTube channel, find the recipes. Well, how much for an 18-pound little dog? How much for a growing puppy? And how do you figure that out? So we are going to go through all those details today. This is a very, very important lecture. So here it is. First, you need to know how much your dog weighs. I know that probably sounds like a no-brainer, but sometimes you think that your dog weighs 20 pounds and actually they're more like 17. And no, it's not going to make that much difference, but it is important to just go ahead and weigh them. Just start from that place of knowledge of knowing how much they weigh. If you don't have a scale, or if you have a dog that's too big to pick up and weigh yourself on your scale and then subtract your weight from the overall number, then you can go to PetSmart because the Banfield scale is out there in the lobby and you can use that. Also, your regular veterinarian will be happy to weigh your dog at any time. It's actually really nice to take your dog to the vet just for a weight and get some treats. That is a nice trip, and it helps to build rapport and make your pet feel more comfortable, make your dog feel more comfortable actually getting to the vet. If you go there for some visits that are not shots or blood draws or scarier things. So once you know how much your dog weighs, then you're going to need to figure out how many calories that they need each day, which we're going to go through how to calculate that at length right now. And then you're going to figure out how many calories are in each ounce of the recipe that you made, which all the recipes that you have from me have that information clearly stated already. And I actually showed you how to use the software. If you want to create your own recipes, you can use my software, or you can just use the USDA website. So we're going to go through all these things. We're going to talk about how to figure out how many calories are in the recipe that you made, how many calories your dog needs, but you need to know how much they weigh. So step one, weigh your dog. Okay, it's math class time. You can totally do this, I promise. Even if you haven't had math classes in a long time, even if you were never good at math, you can do this. All right, and then at the end, if you just don't want to do the calculations on your own, I have a cheat for you too, so don't worry. The formula is 70 times your pet's body weight in kilograms raised to the 0.75 power. Yes, that is some advanced math. Luckily, we all have calculators on our phones these days. So if you weighed your dog and you got pounds, then first thing you'll need to convert that into kilograms. And all you do is you weigh the body weight, and you take the body weight in pounds and you divide by 2.2. And that gives you the body weight in kilograms. So I have a few examples here. 10 pounds divided by 2.2 is 4.5 kilograms. 20 pounds divided by 2.2 is 9 kilograms. 50 pounds divided by 2.2 is 22.7 kilograms. 75 pounds divided by 2.2 is 34 kilograms. Okay, now you just got lucky because I did it for you if your dog weighs one of those weights. Otherwise, you can do this. Step one, divide the weight in pounds by 2.2 and you'll get the weight in kilograms. Okay, next we have to look at this chart. So I'm going to move this, hopefully it's not blocking anything. Okay, we have to look at this chart of activity modification factors. And this is very subjective. How they figured this out, I'm not exactly sure. I'm sure they did plenty of studies, but every dog's a little bit different. So your dog may have maybe an easy keeper, kind of like I am, you know. Your dog may have a really, really high metabolism, and even if they're just laying on the couch, they still need a lot of food because their metabolism is just that high. Okay. If they are too thin all the time, despite eating well and not being a working dog, there might be a GI problem going on. There might be a digestive enzyme issue. There might be some other underlying issue that you need to look into. But more dogs than not are overweight. Most dogs are actually overweight or even obese. So if they're obesity prone, that's the typical dog here, and you actually have them at a good weight, but you know that they gain weight easily, then your modification factor is going to be 1.4. Okay. If you want them to lose weight, then your modification factor is 1. And that just means that all you do is provide for them their resting energy requirement. That's what RER stands for, resting energy requirement. Okay. Any dog who is pregnant, lactating, or growing will have a much higher need for calories. So growing puppies should be 3 times resting RER, or even 2 times as they get a little bit older. But you have to watch your dog because every breed of dog and every individual dog matures at a different level. If they're starting to put on some weight when they're only 6 months old, they're like chunky monkeys, then you're going to want to reduce that down and not give them 3 times their resting energy requirement because they're not growing that much or that fast, and they don't need that excess of calories. They're putting it on as fat. So now that we have the pieces of information that we need in order to do this entire calculation, you know that it will be 70 times the body weight in kgs raised to the 0.75 power and then multiplied by their activity modification number. From this chart, please go ahead, take a screenshot right here. And I'm going to make a PDF of this so that it can be downloaded for you. That will actually be easier so that you can have a copy of this. I'm sure you can also Google it, but you can take a screenshot. I will provide a downloadable PDF, or here you go. Pick it out right now. Know what it is. We're going to do an example. We're going to do an example with a dog that's 20 pounds, which means that they're 9 kilograms. So 70 times 9 to the 0.75 power equals 70 times 5.24, which is 366.48 kilocalories per day. Now that's their resting energy requirement. That's not for a dog who is active, maybe does agility or is growing, okay? If you have a couch potato dog that's prone to gaining weight, but they're at a decent weight right now, you're happy with the weight that they're at, then you'll use the factor of 1.4. So you take 366.48 times 1.4, which equals 513 calories a day for this 20-pound dog. If you want them to lose weight, then you can actually stick to that 366 calories, or you can fall somewhere in between. And it doesn't have to be the exact same amount of calories every single day. One day you might do 400, the next day you might do 500, and that's fine. So some days you use treats and other days you don't. So here is a little video of me turning my iPhone sideways and going through the calculation. It's going to go by pretty quick, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to start it over again so that you'll be able to watch the numbers that highlight. So as you see the different buttons highlight, then you'll follow me actually going through a screen recording of those calculations. I'm going to go back one, and there. Okay, it's going to play it again. So 20 divided by 2.2 is 9 kilograms. Raised x to the y is to the 0.75 power, that's 5.23. Then you multiply that by 70. Okay, that's your resting energy requirement. Then you multiply that by your cofactor for activity level, and you'll get their actual daily energy requirement, which is 513 calories for this particular 20-pound dog. Hopefully you followed that. If not, go back and watch it again. Okay, here's our cheat. This is how we cheat right here. I go to www.petnutritionalliance.org and I use this cheat myself. It is so simple. They have a calculator there. You put in your dog's weight in pounds. You put their body condition score. Okay. You can Google body condition scores, but I'll also attach a PDF of that as well so that you can look at your dog's back from above and see, do they have a waist? And you look at your dog from the side, do they have a waist? You need them to actually have a little bit of a tuck in the abdomen towards the back end, right? From their chest to their tail, there should be a waist. Even a bulldog has a waist. There are some dogs that are a lot more barrel shaped or cylindrical than other dogs. Corgis, for example, bulldogs, your English Labradors, but most of the time it's because they're actually overweight. All of these breeds, I don't know of one breed that shouldn't have a waist. Even Dachshunds, all these dogs, when they have no waist at all, they are overweight or obese. So if your dog has that waist, they're going to be in that nice healthy range. So the healthy range that we want is between 4 and 6 on the body condition score. So 5 is right dab in the middle. That's a perfectly healthy weight for a dog. Okay, that's the body condition score that we want. Maybe even a little bit lower would be better. I like to keep them at around a 4 because I want my dog to be fit and healthy. So this dog does not need to lose any weight. It's an appropriate size. So they obviously are using the cofactor that we picked, which is the obesity prone couch potato, because they gave us the estimated daily caloric need of 514, which is what we calculated. So if you had a really active dog, they would need more calories than this. If you use your little 20-pound dog for agility and you're practicing and running every single day, they're going to need more than 514 calories a day. So this is a really good cheat for the average dog. Use this website. It's really helpful. But you can totally do the math. I know you can. I promise you're able to do this math. All right, now you need to go to the recipe that you have, whether you're using one of my recipes or you're using the Rahu animal diet formulator software like I do, or you're actually just calculating it by writing down, on a piece of paper, you write down, okay, 1 pound of chicken breast, 1 pound of chicken thighs, and you go onto the USDA.gov website and you look at all of the nutritional breakdown in that. You can see how many calories, you can see how much protein, fat, and carbohydrates are in the ingredients that you're using. So at least you're keeping track of the macronutrients and the calories. Then you add up all the ingredients and you weigh it. How many ounces do I have in the entire recipe? And then you divide the number of calories that you added up by the number of ounces, and you will get the kilocalories per ounce. But if you have this software or if you have a printout from me, what you'll see here is that the kilocalories per ounce are listed very clearly. So from there, all you need to do is know how many calories your dog needs every day, divide by the kilocalories per ounce, and you will get the number of ounces that you need to feed your dog. So we're going to go through an example with that too. All right. So we have our same 20-pound dog who needs 513 calories a day. This recipe has 31 calories per ounce, and that means they need 513 divided by 31, which equals 16.5 ounces per day. That's approximately 2 cups. Now, I do recommend weighing it because there might be air, especially if you're doing a home-cooked diet. There could be air pockets in there. There could be an error if you actually just use a cup measure. But once you've measured it one time with this recipe, then you know how much of the cup measure fills up to be that 16.5 ounces. How many cups is that with this particular recipe? After you've used your food scale just the one time with that same recipe, you should be pretty close, and you should just be able to scoop it out moving forward. As long as it's mixed up really well, everything's evenly distributed in the entire meal, then you can just scoop out how much you need for each meal. You can go ahead and pre-portion it out for the next 3 days and freeze whatever you don't use. And then you'll have meal prepped for your dog, and they'll get whole, fresh, healthy food. They're going to be so much healthier, happier, and you'll avoid so many health issues. Thank God, thank God. You will thank me one day. I really think you will. I know it's a little bit more work on the front end, doing this math, doing the food prep, but I just got a text message today from a happy client showing me her food prep and how excited she was about it. And her dog's been on home cooked food for quite a while now and is just doing amazing. She's not having a lot of the issues that she used to have. And we've really figured out exactly what she needs. This particular dog needs to have basically no fat in her diet. It's just the way she is. It's, we have to figure out what each individual needs. You have to do that for yourself, and you have to do that for your dog. If you have 4 dogs, you might get lucky and be able to feed them all the same thing. You might not. You may have to actually make separate meals for different dogs. And as long as you meal prep, as long as you make a whole bunch at once, it's not that bad. You can do it all in one day for the next 2 weeks, and then it's all just portioned out. And you can do this. And like I always say, it's not all or nothing. If you need to use a pre-made for you home cooked diet, a pre-made freeze-dried raw, or freeze-dried cooked, or a raw pre-made raw diet is great to incorporate, and even some kibble once in a while. It's life. It's life. I get it that it's a difficult transition. So any home cooked diet that you use, any home cooking that you do with a variety of whole fresh foods and vegetables is going to increase your dog's health and well-being. So you rock. Thank you for making it through this lecture. You're totally capable of doing this math, and your dog is going to thank you. And please let me know. Let me know if you have any additional questions, if there's anything that wasn't clear, and make sure that you hit like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. All right. Have a great day.